There's a great quote by Anthony Robbins. He says, quality questions create a quality life. Successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. So our answers are in our questions. And well, great questions lead to great answers. So I really just wanted to share a little about questions today. You know, some of the greatest discoveries and dreams started with a great question. How could I? What if I? What can I? And one famous story is that of Colonel Sanders, who in his 60s, turned his whole life around with a great question. Now at the time he was broke and alone, but instead of feeling sorry for himself and getting mad or blaming society or sinking into depression, he asked, what could I do that would be of value to other people? What could I give back? While thinking about his question, he thought about his great chicken recipe, that everybody loved. And he thought, what if I sold my recipe to restaurants? Could I make money doing that? And although if you know his story, you'll know there was a long road ahead as he went from place to place, often living out of his car, and he was turned down by over 100 people. But he went on to build what we now know as KFC. So great questions can lead to positive actions and to the realization of dreams. As humans, you'd know that, we're always asking questions, and we're going to ask them for our entire life. It starts from a very early age. We ask them out loud, or we silently mull them over in our minds. But for many of us, the questions are, why me? Why is life so unfair? Why didn't I get that? And these unhelpful questions lead to stagnation, to doubt, self-pity, or just feeling miserable and low. And of course, then there's the classic question, what will everyone else think or say? Which just takes away your power, your confidence, creating worry and self-doubt, and moving you further away from, being your authentic self. And of course, I'm sure the only person that really suffers is you. Now, these are the questions I like to call small, helpless questions, that have no benefit. They don't allow us to grow or take any personal responsibility. They literally just keep us playing small. So becoming aware, understanding, different types of questions, along with the questions that, you ask yourself, and changing them if they're not so great, if they're the not so helpful small questions, will not only help you actually solve your problems and build self-belief, but also increase your personal power and open up the communication channels with those around you. A number of years ago on a Sunday afternoon, out of the blue, there was talk of my younger son moving in with his dad. Something that I dreaded. But it didn't come up a lot, although I knew his dad had been pushing it for years. And then the very following day, my son came home from school. His dad had picked him up and was outside, out the front waiting, while he came in to grab his things and said, I'm moving in with Dad. And I was absolutely floored. And the second he left the house, I just fell to the floor in tears. But it was only through all my years of study and my personal development that I was able to quickly pull myself together. Instead of sinking quite easily into a very depressed state and going into why me? Why is this so unfair? Or even cursing his dad and asking, why did he do this to me? Not long after he left, I jumped straight on the computer and I Googled, help, my teenage son just moved in with his dad. What can I do? Now, of course, I had to be discerning as I waded through a ton of things that came up. But it led me to one woman who had experienced the same, and a great book that she'd read, that really helped her. So I raced up to the library, that very afternoon to borrow it. I was determined to work through it and to deal with it with my son's best interests at heart. Now, of course, there's more to the story, but my point is that I was able to move forward and actually handle what had happened by asking a helpful question. Now, I could share with you, so many moments where the outcome was greatly affected, simply by asking the right questions. So I thought I'd share with you a couple of examples, for you to actually start to apply. Now, when you ask yourself questions, feel free to have pen and paper handy, or to use your diary or your personal journey to really get in there and write down those questions, any thoughts that come up, so that you can explore the question, the possibilities, your feelings and your options fully. So I thought we'd just start with a few questions that, you could actually ask every day. Questions like, what am I grateful for today? Who am I grateful for today? What can I do to improve my well-being today? Now, of course, this includes physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, self-love. and list them all down. Try and list about 3 to 5 a day. For example, I'll finish that 2-litre bottle of water, or I'll go for that walk after dinner. I'll have a relaxing bubble bath, take a nap, choose an apple over a muffin, get a good night's sleep, read something beneficial, write in my journal, plan and prioritise my day, play a game with my children. The list is endless. And then you could ask, what could I do for someone else today? Maybe visit your mum, buy or handpick your partner's favourite flowers, or make their favourite treat. Take the kids to the park, read someone a book, help a complete stranger, donate. Again, the list is endless. Now we know that living in the present, is the place to be. It's the only place where miracles happen and change can occur. So here's a few questions that, will get you really focused on the now. What do I love about my life right now? What can I improve right now in my life? What's working well for me right now? What's not serving me now? How about, I can be happy in this very moment because. Now this question could be as simple as acknowledging gratitude for exactly what you're doing in the moment. Perhaps it's getting ready for work, and being really grateful that you have a job to go to. Sitting outside on a beautiful day, enjoying a coffee, and noticing, all the little things, a beautiful flower, a butterfly, a smile, a sleeping. And as you use this question, really become familiar with it and allow it to become a wonderful habit for you. And as you go, you can actually change it to a statement of, I am happy in this very moment because, and fill in the blank. Now, here's a few questions to ask, to explore, if you're feeling stuck. Questions like, what am I afraid of? What am I resisting? What am I blocking? What am I not being honest about? What am I not looking at? What am I holding on to? What am I not saying? What am I not doing? What am I refusing to hear? What am I punishing myself for? Now, Dr. Robert Holden shares all these in his fabulous book, Shift Happens, and he writes, remember, when you're stuck, you're being invited to choose peace, to choose love, to choose success, choose help, choose God, and choose your higher mind. Being stuck is a prompt to give away the old and to receive the new. It's a call to let go of the past and to unwrap the present. It's a call to give up your ego and to step into your true light. So I really want to encourage you to really become aware of the questions that you ask. And even start incorporating the ones that I've mentioned here, that really resonate with you. Asking great questions is really just one of the areas of personal development that can really change the quality of your life. Albert Einstein said, the important thing is to not stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. So I'll just add, make them great questions. Make them empowering questions. So thanks so much for joining me. And, if you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. And, look forward to reading those. So thank you so much for joining me. And till next time, here's to your success and loving the life you live.